Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Dash channel. Mike Tyson can't pretend anymore and walks away, learning from Jake Paul during the latest Mike Tyson and Jake Paul press conference. The two soon-to-be in the ring fighters look at each other. Paul makes a strange move that Mike Tyson can't pretend to ignore anymore, and he laughs at him. Mike Tyson promises carnage vows to finish Jake Paul. Mike Tyson is not concerned about his upcoming boxing match with influencer Jake Paul, who is 30 years his junior. The former heavyweight champ, who retired in 2005, is scheduled to duke it out with the YouTube star on July 20th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. The bout will be live-streamed on Netflix. Anybody is a treat when there is two men in the ring. Everybody is a treat, Tyson said when asked about the rising prize fighter, but added that he does not see Paul as a formidable opponent. "I don't think so, but we will see," he said at a Tuesday press conference. "I'm not concerned about anything. If I was concerned, I wouldn't be here talking to you." The testosterone ran high after Tyson told the crowd he is going to finish Paul, promising carnage, really bad stuff. "I gave him his warning. Fight like your life depends on it because it does," Tyson said. Responding to the audience chanting "Fuck Jake Paul," the 27-year-old athlete rose to the challenge, saying he hopes they keep the same energy when I knock this old man the fucking out. Despite the small talk, both boxers have previously praised the other. In a 2022 appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Tyson said Paul is doing so much for boxing. In response, Paul told, "When one of the greatest boxing legends of all time in the history of the sport is supporting me, saying that I am saving the sport, what else do I need? It means the world. Uncle Mike's an amazing person." Tyson, who turns 58 3 weeks before the match, last publicly boxed in a 2020 exhibition fight with a fellow retired heavyweight champion Roy Jones Jr. That Los Angeles bout ended in a draw. At the same exhibition, Paul, who recently bulked up to 2,030 pounds to contend in the heavyweight class, knocked out former New York Knicks player Nate Robinson on the undercard of that fight. He currently holds a record of 9-1, with 6 wins coming by way of a knockout. Jake Paul opens up on upcoming fight with Mike Tyson. "I'm just humbled." Jake Paul seems to have a lot to say about Mike Tyson before the two go box each other in an 8-round fight, which will be broadcasted live on Netflix from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. "I'm just humbled and honored and grateful for this opportunity and thankful for Mike. It just shows that hard work pays off," Paul said. "I think the age is a double-edged sword because on one side, I could be younger and maybe faster, but he is older. He has that old man's strength and has the experience of fighting since he was like 6 or 7 years old," the influencer turned boxer, 27, admitted, considering the fact that the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world is twice his age, 58. He has way more time and experience in the ring. "I think that's great about this fight is just overall, when you go stat for stat, the matchup is very even. He is the bull, I am the matador, and it's that simple," he added. Speed and timing beats power. There is an art to boxing, and although he's been doing it his whole life, it doesn't matter how long you have been doing something if you haven't been doing it in the right way, and I believe my coaches are the best in the world, Jake Paul said. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson trade insults at event to hype upcoming July 20th Netflix fight. During his prime, Mike Tyson was considered the heel or the bad guy. After their news conference at AT&T Stadium, fans made it known that the heel today is popular YouTuber and prize-fighting boxer Jake Paul. Here is what you may have missed. What's happening during the Jake Paul Mike Tyson press conference? After broadcaster Brian Custer introduced Paul, the boxer was immediately met with boos and chants of Expletive Jake Paul. From the crowd, Custer asked Paul and Tyson about allegations that their fight is scripted. "Well, clearly they don't have a high IQ in here," Paul said. Tyson was asked to respond to speculation the script called for him to lose to Paul, who fought his second pro bout on the undercard of Tyson's exhibition against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. "Well, just counter the fight and you'll see," Tyson said. "Listen, I started Jake off and I'm going to finish him." Jake Paul shared how he plans to beat Mike Tyson in an devastating fashion. The influencer-turned boxer is set to spar with the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world on July 20th. Jake Paul is taking his training seriously as he prepares to box against Mike Tyson. The influencer-turned-pro fighter is set to take on the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world in an 8-round fight that will be broadcast live on Netflix from AT&T Stadium in Arlington on July 20th. "I'm just humbled and honored and grateful for this opportunity and thankful for Mike. It just shows that hard work pays off," Paul said. Paul has been hard at work in training camp, preparing his body and mind to take on the legendary fighter, supplementing 2-a-day workouts with ice baths, stretching and conditioning, and healthy meals from his private chef to help put on weight. Tyson is more than twice Paul's age, 58 to his 27. However, what may be a more glaring difference between the two is in their experience. Over the course of his professional fighting career, Tyson went 56-0-2 with 44 KOs. So far, Paul has competed in 10 professional fights, topped he has gone 9-1 with 6 KOs. I think the age is a double-edged sword because on one side I could be younger and maybe faster, but he is older. He has that old man strength and has the experience of fighting since he was like 6 or 7 years old. Paul has been taking boxing seriously since around 2018, when he and brother Logan Paul fought against YouTuber Deji Olatunji and his older brother Kiesai. He made his professional debut in April 2021 and also joined the Professional Fighters League in January 2023 in anticipation of making his MMA debut. His interest in fighting Tyson, however, came from a more unexpected inspiration. This actually all started when I was doing ayahuasca like 2 years ago and I saw this vision of Mike Tyson and I fighting, he recalled. It was so surreal, so visceral, and I got to see the butterfly effect of how that changed the sport of boxing forever. How many guys went to boxing gyms the next day, and how many people's lives were changed because of that. I saw that the next Mike Tyson came from being thin and watching this fight. He continued, "I believe that everyone should box and I think it's the greatest sport in the world." Thanks for watching guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.